Good morning from Northwest Wyoming. It's a glorious day, glorious day. Um, Temps are pretty good. It's a little chilly again. You can kind of see we got overcast skies. It's primarily up in the north. It's going to be coming in. Today we got a couple of things going on. The vet is going to be here at 1:30 to bangs vaccinate our heifers. In Northwest Wyoming, there is the buffalo and elk and some other animals carry brucellosis, and so we have to have all of our young heifers given the bangs vaccination so that they don't give and carry on this brucellosis. It's important that we make sure we do that. It's actually required. So the vet is coming today, and they'll be there about 1:30-ish. And I must say in advance, I'm sorry if I repeat myself. I'm a little tired. It's very common here in Northwest Wyoming. We have primary creeks such as this one here, and primary rivers. And what happens with these primary rivers and creeks is that they get somewhat diverted and subdivided so that every ranch or original landowner got rights, quote, rights to some of that water, and they dug ditches by hand with pick and shovel, literally. And you can see how rocky it is right there. You can see all the rocks right there. It's a rocky, nasty mess trying to dig trenches. I don't know how they did it, to be honest. They were a hell of a lot tougher men than I will be. That's for dang sure. I'd have probably gave up about 20 minutes and started looking for some Twinkies. But back to what I was saying is that off of the primary river and the primary creeks and that kind of thing, what happened originally around I don't know, 1920-ish, they started diverting small amounts of water from those primary creeks and rivers, and farmers and ranchers use that to irrigate their farm fields. So it gets diverted, it goes to these farmers' fields. What doesn't go to that farmer or rancher continues on down the ditch to the next farmer and or rancher. And you're only specified a very, very specific amount of water. It's very highly regulated. And again, it comes from the original land use and homesteaders that started in the area. So the water goes off a primary creek. It goes into smaller ditch banks, is what we call it, and it just gets subdivided down smaller and smaller. And if there's any what we call wastewater, which means water that irrigates the field but is not saturated into the ground, it gets brought back into a bigger ditch, and it all gets consolidated and put down in the creek or the waterway further down. So what happens is over winter, we get a lot of weeds that grow up into the ditches. You get a lot of tumbleweeds and different things into those ditches. So typically what happens is in the spring, about this time of year, what'll happen is these farmers and ranchers will get out there and they'll burn those ditches to get rid of any weeds and that kind of thing. So the water will flow naturally without getting all like caught up in kind of what'll happen is it'll all bunch up. Those weeds and stuff will all bunch up, and then it'll overflow the banks where it's not supposed to, and then nobody's getting the water they're supposed to be getting. So the farmers and ranchers will burn their ditches. So they'll kind of start, and generally what you do is you really kind of just burn little by little. You do it with a four-wheeler and a weed sprayer and just manage what you've got, small amounts at a time. But as the day goes on, people get in kind of a hurry. I've got to get this done. I've got to get the next thing going or whatever. And then the breeze will pick up a little bit. So they'll get more burning than they should. And then that breeze will pick up, and manure, dry manure, like what you'll find in this corral or whatever, burns very easily. That's why the Indians used what they call buffalo chips and that kind of thing to cook with and burn fires and that kind of thing, because they were prevalent and because they burn very well and they burn long. So many times that fire will get just out of the ditch bank. It'll get into some of that dry manure, and it will just get underground. You can't even see it at the surface, and it'll just go under and burn under and continues on until all of a sudden it'll kind of come up and it'll catch that breeze, and the breeze will push it into some weeds, and that'll push it into a hay pile. And so last night, yesterday, it started yesterday early. One of the locals here was burning his ditch bank. He was obviously getting a little tired of being out there because at 5 o'clock when we were still working on a scale, he was still out there, but I could see clearly that at 5 o'clock that was starting to get away from him a little bit. You could see it had gotten up out of the ditch bank and was riding into the straw and the manure there. He'd kind of, where he was burning on this end, he kind of left that to go back to the other end where it had kind of flared up. And then what happened was where he left was down by his haystack, and that the fire got under the manure, got into the manure, and then came up by the haystack. He burned about 100 tons of hay, which is somewhere in the ballpark of about $50,000, I would guess, he lost in hay. He's got probably 150, 200 head of cattle, and we don't have enough pasture right now to support those animals. Doesn't matter. I was out till about midnight last night trying to get that fire out. We got the majority of it out, but much like your manure, that once that fire gets into that hay, it'll smolder and burn, and as soon as it comes up just enough and catches a little breeze, the whole stack will be back on fire again. So the rest of the fire department's back over there right now trying to get that back under control. And I am down here, obviously, at the corrals. I've got to get, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to work everything into where I typically put them when we're putting in a bale. And then I'm going to sort off and keep the heifers in that area. And I'm going to get everything else out of there. Because the only ones that are going to get bangs vaccinated this afternoon are going to be those young heifers. We've got some other meds we're going to give them as well while we've got them. But we're going to run them through. The vet's going to tattoo their right ear, and they're going to put a tag in that right ear to indicate that they've been bangs vaccinated. And after that, we're going to put them back with the rest of everybody else, and hopefully we'll try to get the steers and everybody else run through today. Just depends on what time the vet actually gets here and all of that. So all of that said, sorry about the long drawn out monologue. It's kind of just one of those mornings. But I'm going to get to work here. I'm going to get everybody pushed in, and I'm going to, from there, I'm going to sort off the heifers and try to keep them all caught up in that little section there. And then we'll have them ready when the vet shows up. So let's get to work. All right, let's see if that's going to hold right where it is right there. I'm going to go through these gates. I'm going to open one of the larger gates. I'm going to make sure that nothing is open in the chute and the alleyway. I've got to make sure those are all closed because I don't want anything in there yet. So first I'm going to just push everything into that primary corral where I've got you looking right now. Hi, little babe. What are you doing? Being I've been working in here getting this chute hooked up. This hooked up in the chute. Hi, Mama. Watch out, babe. Watch out. Since I've been working in here, and this little calf has had a little more time to spend with me in here, she's gotten to where she really kind of follows me around quite a bit more. She's very, very curious. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to work everybody in here first, everybody in here, and then from there I'll kind of push them into that part of the system right there, and then from there I can kind of work them a little bit and this gate and work out all of the steers and the bulls back out of here. So that's kind of the goal. We'll see how well it works out. Hi kids. Hi kids. How's everybody doing? Hi 13. I need you to get over there, babe. Oh, you kids. You knocked those back out of there again. Come on, babe. Let's go. And these, I know I've said it before, but these little calves are just like children. They just got to mess with stuff all the time. They see it every day, but nonetheless, they still need to mess with it. Come on, boys. Come on. Come on, mama. Let's go. Come on. Come on. All right. Come on. Come on, 15. Let's go. Come on. There we go. There we go. There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right, mommy. You don't need to go. None of you guys need to go. Nice. All right. Come on. All right. Come on. Come on. All right. Let's see. Let's get you back out of there. Come on. Come on. All right. You're good. You're good. There you go. Push your way through, buddy. All right. They're actually, now here's the good thing. So you'll notice I'm kind of at his front. I'm going to let him go, but I'm just kind of, this would going to be a really good show of what I mean by pressure. Basically, by me being at his front shoulder here, I'm creating a little bit of pressure for him. So I'm going to release that pressure moving toward you, and he's going to take off moving that way pretty quickly. So I've applied a little pressure. Oh, he's taking a leak, so come on, Bob. That wasn't a great example. I apologize. All right, where's Mama? There she is. Come on. Somebody to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see, I've got one too many here. So I'm going to close this until I can get whichever one it is isolated out of there. There he is. All right, buddy. Come on, you. All right. Now I'm going to slow down. Everybody's got a little wound up there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go really slowly now. And I'm going to try to apply a little bit of pressure. Come on, girls. Come on. There you go. There you go. There you go. Okay. Okay. All right. That worked out really well. So now I can close this because I've got the heifers I need right there. All I have to do now is open this gate, and this steer is going to run out of here like nobody's business because he's going to want to be with the others. He's going to try to get back in here with these heifers first. Come on, bud. Come on, bud. There we go. Now he sees the gates open. He's going to go buck and jump and think he's all that in a bag of chips. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring those heifers back into this area, and I'm going to put some water in here for them and that kind of thing. And then I'm going to just double check, that I've got everybody I need, make sure my math wasn't wrong and all of those things. So we'll just open this back up. Again, we just always move really slow, take it easy. These guys are really calm if we allow them to be. They're very much used to me. Um, you're all right, girls. Okay, okay. There you go. You're all right. You're okay. I know. I know. All right. There you go. There you go. There we go. Come on, kid. You can't go forward. That's not the way we're going. I know you're ready to go into the chute, be over with this, aren't you? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we've got 6. There we go, babe. What are you doing standing in your water dish? Don't get, oh, why are you putting every foot in the water dish? All right, so we got everybody in there. This is the ones I need, so it's gonna work really well, no problem at all. And hopefully everything just remains quiet now, and we're ready for the vet to show up. So if they called now and happen to be ready for us in our area, hey, we were in the area, we got done with that place already. So now, no matter what happens, these girls are caught, they're ready to go. And as soon as they show up, we'll push them through there, push them right down the alley, and we'll be ready to bangs vaccinate. So the bangs vaccination, something I don't know if I've told you before, is that they not only do they put a tag in that right ear, they also put a tattoo. So it's just got needles, basically. They put a purple dye on it or a dark blue dye on it, and they'll clamp that onto the ear, and that's going to give them not only the ear tag, but it's going to give them that tattoo, so that if at some point the animal was to lose that additional tag out of their ear, then at least we could show them the paperwork. Hey, this has been done, because we always get record of the bangs vaccination. That mama wants the calves back over there. But we have the record that we got the bangs vaccination, and we can compare that to the tattoo. That yes, we have the paperwork. You can see the tattoo. So yes, they have been bangs vaccinated. So if I took them to, say, the sale barn in Billings or something like that, there would be record and pure absolute truth or proof. I'm sorry. There would not only be the paper record, but there would be absolute proof that that they've been bangs vaccinated. So it's important. It's like I said, it's mandatory here, and so it's something we want to make sure we get taken care of. What I'll do now is I'll get those guys some water. There's some water here for these girls. I'll clean out their tub, make sure it's all taken care of. They're not going to be in here long, so it's not going to be a big deal. I'll grab a bale of hay over here, and I'll just dump the bale of hay in here for them as well. So they've got everything they need for a couple of hours being isolated. So let's get this done. Okay, I've got all the heifers isolated here. You can see them right here. Probably, so we got them isolated. I made sure they have food and water. They're pretty happy with this hay. It's a little leafier, so. But we got them some water, tank of water. Made sure all the other calves, the steers and everybody, we made sure they've got plenty of food and water. Over there we got the mama and the baby. We made sure they got plenty of grain and feed and water and everything as well. While I was here, we do have the scale set up, and we calibrated it yesterday, but I hadn't verified it, if you will. So while I was here waiting on water and some of those other things, what I did was I moved that. Here, let me switch sides here. So to verify, what I did was I moved the cow calf into this area. I made sure all the heifers were out of here. And then, because it leads right up to the alley right there, and I knew that if I got that heifer and calf in there, I could just push them right into the chute, and it would give me a reading and let me know how close or how accurate I thought the scale was. First time I ran them through, it was quite a ways off. So I ran them again, and I recalibrated, and then I ran them through again, and it was really close to what I expected. So I think we're in pretty good shape. When I come back down before the vet gets here, because it's just about noon, I've got about an hour and a half. So what I'll do is I'll go get something to eat, and I'll come back down before the vet is supposed to be here, and I'll kind of just verify that one more time while I'm there before I run all these heifers through. And that way it'll kind of give me a pretty good idea. And I'm not looking for exact. Hell, if I'm within 25 pounds weight wise, that's plenty for what I'm doing right now. All I'm trying to do is just get an idea of what they weigh. Um, so in the fall I can just check them again and see how much they're putting on. So I'm going to go get something to eat, and I'm going to come back a little early, and I'm going to verify that weight, and then from there we'll bangs vaccinates and all of that stuff. So if you enjoy the video, if you're getting anything out of this, please do me a favor and like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I really look forward to the comments. I truly do. Anyway, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Have a great day.